Emotional suppression. I don't agree. I don't think men associate masculinity today with emotional suppression. That's like historically, the world has associated men and masculinity with suppressing our emotions or avoiding our emotions. But today's men, or at least the men that I talk to that are strong, capable, confident, competent, and capable men, want to face their emotions head on. I was listening to a brilliant man called John Lovell, who's a former Army Ranger, talk about the man is a warrior poet. You know, he's a warrior in terms of being dangerous and capable and competent and a protector, but he's also a poet because he's in touch with his emotions. He's able to share love and express love and be about love and, sort of understand the idea of beauty and these sort of things that are important to be this fully embodied masculine man. And so I don't think emotional suppression is something masculine men or is associated with masculinity. I think it's historically, yes, been associated with that because for a long time. Now, I think there's a distinction to be made. Obviously, masculine doesn't mean men and feminine doesn't mean female. But majority of the time, men have more masculine energy or masculine traits, and female predominantly have more feminine traits. I think the ultimate human has a combination of both because you need masculine energy and you need feminine energy in certain different types of your times of your life, and you have to be able to deploy those personality traits or characteristics or energy types in those certain domains of life. But specifically masculinity here, we're talking about men because the article states that stupid things that men associate their masculinity with. So this article is about men and how we associate with masculinity. And so that's what I'm specifically referring to when I talk about these things. Now, historically, yes, emotional suppression has sort of been part of the MO of the masculine man. Like shove it down deep, emotions are weak, avoid them at all costs, don't show, don't cry, don't do any of that stuff. Today's men, I just don't think that's real, and I don't think men associate that. There's been enough conversation about it. Now, yes, men still have very, very high suicide rates, which is something that's very alarming and needs to be looked at. I do think that people sometimes disregard and disrespect a man having emotions. So it's not just that men don't need to associate with that anymore. We need to handle and deal with our emotions head on in a healthy, productive manner. But also other people need to see us that way as well and give us the space and time to be able to develop the emotional maturity, the emotional agility, to be able to handle those things. Because for a long time, previous generations told us to shove them down, avoid, you can't cry, all of these things. So we're sort of relearning this idea of how to be strong, capable, confident, dangerous men while also being able to speak about things that are more emotional. I need help, asking for help, having a cry, expressing love, being about love, being a caretaker. All of those things are part of the masculine and feminine dynamic. But I just don't think we associate with that. Like, that's not a badge of honor. We're not saying, yes, woo, we want to suppress our emotions. No, it makes us feel like shit. But we have all these other things happening like that. We feel like a burden. We feel like no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit at all. So we're going to suppress those emotions so we can pretend to have everything be okay all of the time. We can carry the weight of the world on our shoulders and we can move in that direction. So we don't associate with emotional suppression. We feel like that's our only option. And so having a whole society trying to not be about that anymore, trying to reverse engineer that into allowing men the space to have these emotions while also portraying these really strong, healthy masculine traits of competent, capable, caring, compassionate, people.